Hello everyone, and welcome back to First Take Tech, real tech reviews done right the first time. Now, I haven't posted an update video in a long time, in a few months, and I get that, I know that. I just got home from college, finished finals week, and everything, and I actually had a few videos up and ready. I just needed to edit them and post them, but I decided to redo it so that my videos can be better for you guys. And something I realized really cool today was that EXO, the people who I bought my drone from, and which is what started this whole channel, actually watches these videos. So if you're from EXO, welcome, thanks for coming to the channel, and I hope you can learn a few things from what I'm about to tell you about your drones. Now, a few months ago, around December, I bought the EXO Cinemaster 2, and there's a long story about it which you should go watch down below, or actually right here, or right here based on however YouTube edits it, about the origins of this drone, why I bought it, and the little surprising story of what happened to it. But today I've been using it for about two and a half months or so, and I'm going to give you guys a rating out of 5 on whether you should get it or whether you shouldn't based on 4 different areas that I thought were important to me. So let's start off with number 1, and that's obviously, or to me, the most obvious is the camera, which is why I bought this drone. Now, the camera, as told on their website, is supposed to be a 4K UHD camera that records at 50 megabits per second. It uses a 1.1 by 2.3 inch CMOS sensor, and it should record in slow motion around 1080p with the 60, ooh, my goodness, 60 frames per second. Um, with my experience, it doesn't really do that. The 4K is there, and I know it's there because the colors are there and everything looks nice. It's just from the camera, everything's not sharp. It's not as sharp as I want it to be. Now, that's not saying it's not good, but I wish the camera was a little bit sharper. In some video that I'll be putting at the end of this, I think I might post it in just a separate video. It's not as sharp as I want it to be. Your lines are kind of blurred. Everything just feels, I would say, floaty. Like it looks like it just, you know what I mean when I say it doesn't look very sharp, and that's kind of what it is. It's not bad. It doesn't make your video horrible, and it is still in 4K. It's just I wish there's a little bit more of an element of sharpness to the drone video. Now, also with the camera, I want to talk about the stabilizer, the 3-axis gimbal. It works phenomenally. Like it way exceeded my expectations because of how stable it makes your video. And I've flown in some pretty, no, I wouldn't say crazy, but to where the drone is angled pretty hard and I change quickly. And this gimbal works extremely well. So if you're looking for a stable video, it is going to be a very good choice for you because the stability is there, the 4K is there, the camera is there. It's just I wish if the colors and everything were a little bit more popping, and I wish it was a little bit more sharp for your videos. Now, before you record in 4K, you download everything, or it streams everything to your phone, which saves in 720. What am I saying? 720 HP, not HP. Yeah, 720 HP, which isn't great. So I wouldn't want to use that for a video or anything. But EXO, oh goodness, does give you the option to save to an SD card. Now, the drone on here says that you have to have something that's a class 10 or above. I tried a class 10 SD card and it just didn't work. I don't know why, it just didn't work for me. And so I bought a U3 class SanDisk Extreme Gold 32 gigabyte card. You can pick them up for about $28 on Amazon or 22, and it works really well and it writes over very, very well. And so on my camera, out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 3 just because it works well. I like it. It does what it needs to do. I just wish it was a little bit clearer or crisper. Now, moving on to number 2, the wind resistance. That for me gets a 5 out of 5. 100% wind resistance on this is absolutely amazing. Now, it's a pretty heavy drone. I'm not sure the exact weight, but when you pick it up in the battery, it's a hefty drone, and it uses that perfectly along with its strong motors to fight against the wind. Class 5 is supposed to be, I think, 18 to 20, or it's either 16 to 18 miles per hour or 18 to 20 miles per hour wind, and it does that really well. I've flown in some windy conditions, and it has pushed against the wind extremely well. Pair that with a really good gimbal that's on here, you're going to get a silky smooth video with wind resistance. And flying against the wind also works really well. And so I was never scared of losing my drone, of the wind just blowing it away and not being able to fly it back, because every time that I flew it out, I was able to fly against the wind if I had to, and it would come right back to me, which was a really nice feature. So wind resistance, I give it a 5 out of 5. Now, for connectivity, I'm there. I'm what's it called when you're torn between two? I'm torn between two things. I want to give it a 2 out of 5 stars, but at the same time, I probably will give it a 3 out of 5 stars, just because it doesn't do what they say it does, or at least the way I interpret it. On their website, they say it can go up to, I think it's 2,600 feet, which is around half a mile of connectivity, reaching the drone flyability. Um, just with the camera, and when I'm talking about this, I am talking just with the camera. It's a Wi-Fi drone, and so you're only able to go as far as your Wi-Fi signal allows you to. And if you don't have a repeater or something that makes your Wi-Fi signal considerably stronger, you're not going to get above 700 feet. I think my max was 750, and then it started getting choppy, and about 10 feet after it starts getting choppy, it just cuts out. And that was a little disappointing, because I bought this drone because I wanted to fly places. I wanted to get that, like, a 1,500-foot range, and still get a good video feed, and it just does not offer on that. Now, that's just the camera. I know that it can go a lot farther using just the controller signal, but of course, for me, filming like a cinematic video from a far distance out, it's useless to me when the camera cuts out. Not only for safety reasons, because I can't see the drone, and the drone might not necessarily like go behind a tree or something, or go behind a building where I can't see it at all, and I have no camera feed. It's just I can't direct the camera either. Unless for some reason I know exactly what I'm pointing at, there's no way to know if my subject's in frame or not, and it just doesn't work very well. And I'm a little disappointed that the range is so low, when they say that it should be a mediocre range compared to other drones, and it's at the bottom, of the totem pole in ranges, especially with that camera. And I know that's because it's a Wi-Fi drone, which I did not realize when I first bought it, but of course it is what it is. Now, when you get inside 700 feet, it works fine. Your camera's not cutting out. You're not going to get a choppy video. You're going to be able to see that live feed up until you hit around the 700 threshold. So everything before that, it works great. And that's where I would give it the 4 out of 5 stars, because it works great at that level. Just when you get farther out, you're not going to be able to connect. And I'm sorry, you just can't. It will not allow you to. And another hiccup that I saw was that when it does disconnect, you have no hope of reconnecting it until you land it. And I don't really know if that's because they put like a safeguard or something on it, but as soon as it lands, or as soon as it disconnects fully, you're not getting it to reconnect until you land, which is a little bit troublesome when you're wanting to film something. It disconnects and you can't reconnect it until you land the drone. But again, it is what it is. That's just for buying the cheap $350 drone. That's this type of quality you're gonna get from it. And in all, it's not horrible. I just wish it was better, and I wish they made two categories. Like, the drone could fly 2,600 feet, but your camera's only gonna last until 800. And now let's talk about the fourth and final thing about this drone, and that's controller connectivity and drivability, flyability, and battery. The battery lasts a long time. They say on their website it should last 28 minutes. It does that, hands down does that. And since they replaced my last one, I have two batteries, so I can get even more, like almost up to 45 minutes to an hour of flight time. And I've never had to record past that. The battery lasts really long, and it does affect your range, but you're not going to run out of battery quickly, and you're not going to be in the air for just like 6-10 minutes or so. It really does live up to that 28-minute saying on their website here, which I'm really proud of. And that battery has worked very well. And the only other thing I can say about the battery is that it charges slow, very slow. So if you're going to go out, get all the use you can, but as soon as you get use from that battery, don't expect to be using it in the next 7 hours or even the next day, because of how slow the batteries charge. but they do USB-C, and so it could charge slower. I can say that it could charge slower. Just don't expect to run out of battery, plug it up for 15 minutes, and come back with any reasonable flight time under 10 minutes, or you might get 2 minutes of flight time for a half an hour charge. Um, it's just the battery is amazing. I give the battery a 5 out of 5 because it works like they say it should, or actually I'd probably say 4 out of 5 just because of how slow the battery charges. Now, you do have to use this drone, especially with the camera things, through an app, and that app isn't EXO branded, which is a little weird that they don't have their own app. There's a couple different you can choose from, but the app isn't very nice. It works enough to be able to fly the drone and to record things and to start recording, but the features on it don't really work that well. Like the follow me mode just doesn't work for me. It tries to like follow me, but like there's no active track like DJI has. It's very AI software based and it doesn't work very well. The circle me mode does work nicely, except it doesn't lock onto a center point, and it's really hard to get the drone to circle around one specific point, especially if you're just standing there, which again is okay. And so for app quality, I'd say it's around a 3 out of 5. Um, but that is the EXO drone, at least from my experience so far, and it's the Cinemaster 2. And if you're asking if you should buy it or if you want to buy it, uh, I don't know. I'm conflicted because the videographer in me and the person who wants a drone to be quality for that price says no, absolutely run away from this drone, just because of the things that it needs to excel at. It doesn't, and it doesn't excel very well at all. But if you're just a hobbyist and you want to fly a little bit, you want to get some cool video of like some closer shots. If you're not wanting to fly that 2,600 or 1,500 feet out, if your video doesn't have to absolutely be perfect, then yes, this is a great drone if you have the $350 to drop on it. Um, if you're wanting to get a starter drone for kids, where you're not wanting to pay for a DJI or a Parrot, which is much more expensive than this, then yes, this is a great drone for that. It's easy to control. Everything on it works well. It's just not perfect or exceedingly good like I hoped it was. But it all in all, it is a good drone, and I can't say anything horrible about it because it lives up to its expectations for its price point. You're getting what you're paid for, and I know $350 is a lot. It was a lot for me, but in the realm of drones and cinematography, it's what you pay for. And so I would recommend yes, but no. It's a drone for a very small class of people, just the hobbyist and kids or teens like me who want to fly a little bit and get some cool video, but not for someone who's saying recording for weddings or recording for a business. It's not going to get that level of quality, especially in the video, as you would want it to be. So in all, I just want to thank the EXO for being there, and their customer service is absolutely amazing, and I'm very happy that their customer service was nice, and easy to work with, because that could have been a pain to get this replaced, even though it was your all's fault. But thank you guys for watching, and please hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on TikTok, First Take Tech, same place there. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 soon so I can start live streaming, and I'd like to make a little bit of money so I can pay for all these things I'm buying. But again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and this has been the EXO Cinemaster 2, and I'll see you in the next video.